Okay. A pleasant morning to all of us. We are on the seventh week now of ECQ, ha? Yes. We are in seventh week sa NCR.
Start na.
We will not stop from sharing with you
Start na.
important
Dapat
topics
na
in
information.
science and math education and other platforms. So we'd like to thank you all for responding to this invitation. Um, to this webinar entitled Developing Critical Thinking Skills Through Problem Solving. Okay. So actually, this is the second webinar that we are hosting, and it's being brought to you by the STAR, Science Teacher Academy for the Regions of the Science Education Institute, COST. So I hope all of us get a stable internet connection within the next hour so that we get to enjoy a clear and audible presentation or session. So I understand, Sir Edwin, that this would be a very interactive session. So we expect full participation from the teachers. So there are a total of I think 50 to 60 elementary mathematics teachers who have signed up, and I wish that you find this forum valuable to you as a professional, and hope that learnings may be applied to your schools or workplace when you return to school after this pandemic and be able to adapt to the new normal educational setting. So ano kaya yung new normal na yon? Sana ma-adapt pa rin natin itong training na ito. So this morning, we have invited a resource person to share with us this very interesting topic. So he is a faculty member of the Department of Mathematics and Physics of the College of Science of Central Luzon State University. He's also a star trainer, a favorite star trainer from Region 3, and has been with us for around 6 years already. Okay? So without further ado, it is a great pleasure to introduce to you our speaker, Dr. Edwin Ibanez. So Sir Edwin, take it away.
Yes, Ma'am Cynthia.
Good morning,
So,
sir.
my topic for this morning is all about developing thinking skills through problem solving. So, as a springboard of my lecture, look at the picture and using your chat box, list down what you have observed. Focus your observation or observations on the current setup of education. So, you have this picture. So, the picture is all about what? So, the picture is all about
21st century.
the 21st century, right? Okay, where there is this virtually limitless information. But this information can be what? Okay, it can be anything, anywhere, or it can be anything, can be found anywhere, anytime. But teachers are no longer the main source of information. And if the teachers can only provide information to the students, then what? Is the role of the teacher obsolete? So what do you think? So with this, take a look at this one. So with all of this information available, should our curriculum be focused on facts and contents or skills? And you can comment on the chat box for this one. Okay, so one comment here is that 21st century education should give more attention on the development of skills. Okay, if this is the case, then therefore the question is that, what do you think are the important skills that students of the 21st century need to learn in mathematics? So what do you think are the important skills that the students of the 21st century need to learn in mathematics? So are you familiar with this conceptual framework of mathematics education? on how ideas are organized to achieve its goal. So based on this framework, there are two twin goals of mathematics education, right? And that these are, so we have the development of critical thinking and problem-solving skills. So in this framework, notice that for us to attain these two twin goals, we need to focus on these 5 components. So what are these components? The first one is that we have this content. So with the following coverage, number and number sense, measurement, geometry, patterns and algebra, and probability and statistics. So a little of everything. Since our curriculum K-12 has this what we so-called spiral feature. Okay, the second component is that we have these skills and processes like we have knowing and understanding, estimating, computing and solving, visualizing and modeling, representing and communicating, reasoning and applying and connecting. The next component is that we have values and attitudes to be developed that are important, like accuracy, creativity, objectivity, perseverance, and productivity. The next one is that the mathematical tools to be used that will aid in implementing the learning process. Like we have these manipulative objects, measuring device, calculators and computers, smartphones and tablets, and internet. And the last component is that we have this context that affect the learning of mathematics, such as beliefs, environment, language, culture, and learners' prior knowledge and experience. So in developing these 5 components, the following principles and theory are suggested. Okay, familiar with this? The first one is that we have this discovery and inquiry-based learning. That according to this principle, students learn when they explore, solve, and investigate. The second principle is that for the students to explore this experiential and situated learning, for them to explore, solve, and investigate, they need to experience different situational problems. Okay, that is, these problems should be contextualized or with real-world application for the teacher to catch up the interest of the students. The third principle is that we have this cooperative learning. That is, make use of the dynamics of cooperative learning with the belief that working with others in a shared task is of great help. The fourth principle is that we have this reflective learning, that after working collaboratively, let the students reflect their thinking. Okay, so paano or how? Perhaps isa sa mga nakikita kong ginagawa rito is that through journal writing. Because writing about what the students learn makes more sense of them. And the last one is that we have this constructivism, which is a theory that supports the above mentioned principles. So note that nasa baba siya. Baba ng 4 na principles for the reason that this is the theory that supports these 4 principles. So under this theory, knowledge is seen as in the person. That knowledge is not transferred but rather generated. That knowledge is actively constructed by individuals in interaction with the environment and others. And the last one is that the learner interpret knowledge according to prior experience and mental capacity to assimilate and accommodate concepts. Last, we can say that it is just a matter of making teaching what? Making teaching stimulating for the students in order to capture their interest, for them to maximize learning, in the end, conquering these 2 twin goals. Again, what are these 2 twin goals? The development of critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Okay, focusing now on our topic, development of critical thinking. Okay, let's define first what is all about critical thinking. So according to Robert Weisberg, critical thinking is an ability to use reason to move beyond the acquisition of facts to uncover deep meaning. According to Yuda Umar Al-Wahidi, critical thinking is a reflective and reasonable thought process embodying depth, accuracy, and astute judgment to determine the merit of a decision, an object, or a theory. According to Linda Elder, it is a self-guided, self-disciplined thinking which attempts to reason at the highest level of quality in a fair-minded way. And according to Todd Finley, critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally about what to do or what to believe. And lastly, according to the foundation of critical thinking, it is an intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and or evaluating information. Okay, let's focus now on developing critical thinking. So developing critical thinking means developing higher order thinking skills, or yung acronym natin for HOTS. That is what? That is skills requiring ways of thinking that are deeper and more complex than the kind of everyday thinking that we use. So with this meaning of critical thinking, how important therefore is its development, especially in education? Okay. So critical thinking is important for the reason that it encourages independency. It improves self-evaluation. It promotes good language and presentation skills. It encourages creativity and innovation. It encourages good decision-making. It encourages scientific discoveries and theories. And this one keep us up to date with the 21st century education. So in addition with this, according to the World Economic Forum, critical thinking together with problem solving is one of the skills needed to thrive in response to the fourth industrial revolution. And that when we say fourth industrial revolution, this is characterized by using the physical, biological, and digital worlds such as robotics, nanotechnology, 3D printing, genetics and biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So to continue, there are two approaches in critical thinking using content disciplines. So what are these two approaches? Okay, the first one is that we have this infusion approach where critical thinking skills are taught explicitly or directly using the discipline's content. And the other one is that we have this embedded approach. So when we say now embedded approach, this is where critical thinking skills are taught in indirect ways without spelling it out to the students. So both approaches are said to be effective. That is according to Ennis, Schwartz, and Parts. So for the purpose of exploring critical thinking skills on the cognitive domain, focus lang tayo sa cognitive domain. So a framework that describes 6 different levels of thinking can be helpful to discuss. And that this one is what? Familiar with this? The Bloom's taxonomy of education. So ang gagawin is that the revised one. So according to this Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives, there are 6 levels of thinking. Okay, let's have it each level one by one. What is that? We have this remembering, and that when we say now remembering, it means recalling, recognizing, listing, describing, retrieving, counting, or naming information. So mas maganda siguro if we have an example that will elicit this kind of thinking or level of thinking. Okay, kuha tayo ng isang topic about fraction. Okay, when you ask your students, list down the fractions that you know. So in this question, it will elicit this level of thinking, remembering. You are just asking your students to list down all the fractions that they know. Okay, the second level is that we have understanding. When we say understanding, it means explaining, interpreting, summarizing, paraphrasing, classifying ideas or concepts. We have an example of it. So we can have this one. So given the first question, you ask your student to order the fractions they listed. Okay, in this case, you are eliciting the second level of thinking, which is understanding. Okay, the third level is that we have applying. When we say applying, this one is using, implementing, carrying out, executing, or finding information in another familiar situation. As an example of this, let's have this question. So find the average of two fractions. Still fractions pa rin tayo, but we are using a familiar what? A familiar situation or familiar concept. That is what? That is all about finding the average. But for now, we are eliciting this third level of thinking, which is applying. Okay, the fourth level of thinking is that we have analyzing. This one is breaking information or breaking, comparing, organizing, deconstructing, interrogating, or reversing information into parts. Explore understanding and relationships. Okay, actually, this level of thinking is very crucial because it is quite similar to applying. So take a look at this question. So given a fraction average, find the other fraction if one fraction is known. So if you will analyze this question, it is parang napagkakamala minsan na it is on the applying level. But actually not. Hindi. Nasa analyzing level na ito. Because if you will analyze it, sa third question natin, when we say find the average of two fractions, first you add and then you divide, right? In this analyzing level, note that i-reverse natin yung operation. When we say given a fraction average, find the other fraction if one fraction is known. That is what? That is, first we need to multiply and then we need to subtract. So we reverse the process. Kaya crucial yung third and fourth. Okay, papakita ko mamaya kung bakit crucial. Okay. The fifth level is that we have this evaluating. That is what? That is justifying, checking, hypothesizing, critiquing, experimenting, or judging a decision or course of action. As an example of this, we can have this one. So compare fractions with a variety of different denominators and come to a conclusion. So in this case now, you are what? You are making a conclusion. Say for example, meron tayong unit fractions, okay, of different denominators. Okay, dapat mag-conclude yung estudyante natin when they evaluate that what? As the denominator increases, the value of the fractions or the value of the fraction decreases. Ganon, di ba? Or as the denominator decreases, okay na? Or decreases, the value of the fraction increases. Okay, let's have the last one. The last one is that we have this creating, which is generating, designing, constructing, planning, producing, inventing new ideas, products, or ways of doing things. So as an example of this, we can have this one. So using knowledge of fractions, write a question given a context or situation. They are the one who will create question based on the given context or situation. Okay. To cut it short, when we say understanding, when we say remembering, understanding, and applying, we classify these first three levels under low order thinking skills. And when we say now analyzing, evaluating, and creating, we classify now this next 3 levels under higher order thinking skills. I said crucial kanina yung applying and analyzing for the reason that ito yung turning point from low order to higher order. Nakita? Okay, thus, to think critically is to follow a clear line of hierarchical thinking processes in the given mathematical task. Okay. So, let's have this question. Take a look at this one. Okay, the question given here is that how many circles are there in the drawing? So we have this drawing. So in this question, what do you think is the level of thinking that we can elicit to our students? So possible ang gagawin ng bata is that they will count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then they will answer, there are 16 circles in the drawing, right? Okay, now, how can you revise or if that is the response na na-elicit mo sa estudyante mo, if I will ask you, ano kaya yung level of thinking na na-elicit natin? How will you classify? So we can classify it under lower order thinking skills. So as a teacher, how can we revise our question in such a way that you will not change the task, but it will elicit higher order thinking skills and not lower order thinking skills. Okay, so let's have it. So we have this drawing. We have the original question, how many circles are there in the drawing? So how can we now revise the question? Because the first question only elicit lots. Okay, any idea? Okay, take a look at this revised question. So think of different ways to determine the number of circles and translate it into number sentence. Okay, so what can you say about this question? The same rin ba yung task? Okay, the same pa rin. Pinapabilang pa rin yung number of circles, right? Kaya lang may nadagdag. Translate yung process na ginawa nila into number sentence. Guess what? There is possible na we can have this thing, and translating this one into number sentence, we can have 4 times 4 is equal to 16. That is, there are 4 groups of 4. The next one is that we can have this one, possible na gawin ng estudyante nyo ito. That is what? Number sentence. So we can have 2 groups of 5 plus 2 groups of 3. Okay, sum is equal to, so we have 16. Okay, pag-isipin yung estudyante ulit. Any other? Kaya think of different ways. Any other way? So possible that we can have this one. That is what? That is, so they are the one who will construct the number sentence. So we can have 4 times 3 plus 4 times 1. So 4 groups of 3 plus 4 groups of 1 is equal to 16. Okay, so pwede mong tanungin sila. Notice that there are only 2 operations used in these 3 presentations. Okay. Challenge mo sila na how about using subtraction to count the number of circles? So they will think. So possible na ito yung maisip nila. And ask them, how will they construct the number sentence of this? Or how will they write the number sentence of this? That is what? That is 4 times 5, 4 groups of 5. But notice that may 4 na circles na twice na nabilang. That is why, minus natin yon, minus 4 times 1 or 4 groups of 1, which is equal to 16 also. And possibly, ito yung maisip ng bata, guess what? So for this one, what is the number sentence? Okay, the number sentence is, so we can have 5 times 5 minus, ibabawas natin yung 3 groups of 3, then therefore we have 25 minus 9 is equal to 16. So meaning, from lots, I think this one now can be classified as under higher order thinking skills. So nakita? Okay, so following are some of the thinking skills that are embedded and essential to elementary mathematics problem solving. So let's have the following. The first one is that we have analyzing parts and wholes. Number 2 is that we are comparing. Number 3, we have classifying. 4, identifying patterns and relationships. 5, spatial visualization. 6, deduction. And 7 is induction. So let us discuss briefly these thinking skills one by one. Okay, the first one is that we have analyzing parts and whole. So what is all about this thinking skill that we need to develop? So analyzing parts and whole is a basic and useful way of looking at a problem. So to analyze parts and whole is to recognize the parts and understand how they form the whole. So I repeat, to analyze parts and whole is to recognize the parts and understand how they form the whole. Okay, let's have an example for this one. Okay, let's have this example. So when 1/3 of a container is filled with water, it has a mass of 24 kilograms. When it is 7/9 filled with water, it has a mass of 40 kilograms. The question is that, what is the mass of the container when it is completely filled with water? So read it again for the second time and analyze. Okay, so the particular thinking skills that we need to develop here is that analyzing parts and whole. Tama ba? So in this case now, identify natin yung mga parts muna na given. Okay, one of the given is that there is this container plus 1/3 part of this container filled with water has a mass of what? 24 kilograms. This is given. But when this container plus may naragdag tayong 7/9 part of it filled with water, may mass daw itong 40 kilograms. Okay, this is for the parts. And then for the whole, ang sabi is that container completely filled with water. Ito yung whole natin, which is actually the unknown. Tama ba? Okay, so for us to understand the problem fully, let us draw the model, okay, or draw a model and solve by analyzing parts and whole. Okay, let's have first this model. Okay, so take a look at this model. So we have this container, okay, filled with water, 1/3, tama ba? As a mass of what? As a mass of 24 kilograms. So same container, but when container is filled with water, that is 7/9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7/9. It has a mass of what? It has a mass of 40 kilograms. Now the question is that, what will be the mass of the container when it is completely filled with water? That is, we need to find the mass of the container as well as the mass of the water na pupuno dun sa container. So yun yung magiging solution natin. Okay? So, you try to analyze the given model. So based on the given model, this one is what? This one is 1/3, right? And that this one is 7/9. But this 1/3 can be written into its equivalent fraction into ninths. That is 1/3 is equivalent to 3/9. Tama ba yun? Okay, so bakit natin kailangang i-rewrite pa? Okay, para maging pareho itong dalawa. Yan. So we have 3/9 ito, and that this one is 7/9, and that they are similar. Okay, notice that kapag binawas natin yung 3 units dito, dahil 3/9 to, yung 3 units dito, with this 7 units, then therefore we have 4 units. So this 4 units therefore is simply this 1, 2, 3, 4. Tama ba? And that this 4 units is actually what? Is actually the difference between this 40 kilograms and 24 kilograms. So ang timbang ng 4 units na ito is simply kung ano yung difference ng 40 minus 24, which is 16 kilograms. And therefore, we can say that these 4 units, itong 4 units na ito, has a mass of 16 kilogram. So bakit natin kinuha yung bigat ng 4 units? Okay, for us to know yung timbang per unit. That is what? That is 1 unit therefore is equal to 16 kilograms divided by 4. Paghahatian ng 4. Then therefore, 1 unit is equal to 4 kilograms. So given now this 1 unit is equal to 4 kilograms, okay, we can use it para makompute natin yung amount of water na pupuno sa container. Notice that meron tayong 9 units para mapuno yung container. Mapuno ng tubig yung container. And so therefore, we can multiply 9 times 4 kilograms is therefore equal to, we have this 36 kilograms. Then therefore what? Ito yung mass ng water na pupuno doon sa container. And so now the problem is, the only problem now is the mass of the container. The mass of the container. That is what? Take a look at this upper portion. Okay, container, ito ay, this one is 3/9, right? Okay, kapag ibinawas natin yung 3 units dito, i-multiply natin ng 4, then therefore, ang mass ng tubig na ito, yung 3/9 na ito, is equal to 12 kilograms. That is, ibawas natin yung 12 kilograms sa 24 kilograms, it is equal to what? It is equal to 12 kilograms, which is the mass of the container. So, adding therefore, the mass of the container, which is 12 kilograms, and the mass of these 9 units as represented sa ating model, yung timbang ng tubig, is we have 36 kilogram. Pag in-add natin yung 12 plus 36 is therefore equal to, we have 48 kilograms. And that therefore, the answer is that the mass of the container when it is completely filled with water is equal to 48 kilograms. So I repeat, thinking skills for this problem is that we have analyzing parts and whole. Okay, the second one is that we have this comparing. So when we say now comparing is an effective way of identifying the relationship between the variables in the problem. Comparing the information in the problem help us to determine the differences in quantities. For example, more than, less than, or equal of the variables. Okay, let's have an example for this one. So an example is that we have this. So in a class, 3/4 of the boys are equal to 1/5 of the girls. After 6 girls leave the class, there are still 49 more girls than boys in the class. The question is, how many students are there in the class at first? Okay, read it for the second time and then analyze. Okay, solution to this problem is that, first, Draw a model to represent boys and girls. Still, I will use model. Number 2 is that put in the data. And the third one is that compare and solve using the model. Okay, let's have first the model. So we have boys. So 3/4 of the boys. Ano sabi sa problem? Is equal to what? Is equal to 1/5 of the girls. So if 3/4 of the boy is equal to 1/5 of the girls, then therefore ito yung 1/5. Kung ito yung 1/5, then therefore for the number of blocks for girls, we need to add what? We need to add 12 blocks or 12 units. Then according to the problem is that nung umalis daw yung 6 na babae, still mas marami pa raw ng 49 yung babae kumpara sa lalaki. So we are referring to this part. Ito yung sinasabing mas marami pa rin, di ba? So therefore, 6 plus 49, ito yung 6 na umalis, plus still mas marami pa rin daw ng 49 yung girls sa boys, for a total of 55. More girls compared to boys. Okay? So given now this information, anong pwede natin makuha rito? That is what? That is, kapag binawas natin itong 4 dito, this 4 units, dito sa 15 units na ito, then we have what? We have 11 units. Tama ba? And that this 11 units corresponds to the 55, corresponds to this 55 students. Then therefore, per unit, pwede nating masabi na per unit, therefore, is equal to 5 students. So 55 divided by 11 is equal to 5 students per unit. So how many units do we have sa boys? There are 4. How many units do we have sa girls? There are 15. For a total of, we have how many? We have 19 units. Then therefore, we need only to multiply this 19 by 5 dahil per unit is equal to 5 students. Then therefore, this one is equal to, we have 95. So to answer the question, the answer is that there are 95 students in the class at first. So in this case now, we use what thinking skill again? This one is comparing. Okay, we compare the number of boys to the number of girls and that they are equal, but of different fractions. Okay. The next one is that identifying patterns and relationships. So in number and the pattern sequences, there is often a relationship among the data in the given arrangement. Always look for a specific variation between 2 or more attributes in the relationship that form a reliable or repeated pattern. Again, that form a reliable or repeated pattern. So you need to check. So as an example, let's have this problem. Okay, so Jessica arranged some shapes in the following order. So we have this order. Now the question is that, what shape is in the 100th position? So analyzing it, tingnan nyo mabuti yung figure. Look at the shapes. Okay, notice that there is a pattern, right? That this particular sequence is repeated as a group of 9 shapes. Tama ba? So meaning, solve by using multiple of 9. Okay, that is what? That is 100. Since there are 100 symbols divided by 9 is equal to 11 remainder 1. So there are 11 repetitions by 9, di ba? So meaning, 11 groups of 9 is equal to 99 shapes. So it only means that kung ito yung pang 99, therefore, ito yung pang 100. And so therefore, for the answer, the shape in the 100th position is that we have this particular symbol. Okay, so we have identifying patterns and relationship. How about the next one? This one is all about spatial visualization. So when we say now spatial visualization, so this one is a thinking skill often used in primary mathematical problems. Again, primary mathematical problems, grade 1, 2, and 3. So it requires one to visualize an object or a situation and manipulate alternatives, something using a diagram to solve a problem. So let's have an example for this one. So we study the figure below and determine the number of cubes needed to build it. Okay, very easy, di ba? Okay, so kaya nga sa primary. So the first one is that visualize the figure from different views. So when I say different views, may tinatawag tayong front view, we have this top view, and we have this side view. Okay, from the best view, count the number of cubes. Okay, assuming ang napili is that top view ang napili. So from the top view, we see this one. Okay. And that this shows that there are 3 columns of cubes. Tama ba? Okay, for this one, so counting by column, for this one, there is 1 cube. Okay, for this column, there are 4 cubes. And for this column, there are 2 cubes. For a total of what? For a total of 7. So the answer is that there are 7 cubes needed in building this figure. Okay, similarly, pwede natin i-reverse yung problem. So study different views of a solid and draw the solid. Again, study the different views of a solid and draw the solid. State the number of cubes needed to build this solid. So we have these views. This one is the front view. This one is the top view. And that this one is the side view. Okay, given the following, the first task is draw the solid, right? And then count the number of cubes needed to build the solid. That is what? Okay, the first one is that visualize the solid form from different viewpoints, draw the possibility, and then count the number of cubes by levels. Okay, let's have the solution. So start with the front view. So ito yung front view natin. Then from this front view, using the top view, draw in 3 square to form 3 cubes. Ilalagay natin yung top view to this front view. Then it becomes this one. Then using the side view, draw in the 3 squares to form cubes. And we have this. Then therefore, count the number of cubes. Level 1, there are 3. Level 2, 1. Level 3, 1. And so therefore, to answer this question, we have this drawing and count the number of cubes. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 5 cubes. Okay, so we have this thinking skill, spatial visualization. Okay, the next one is that we have through deduction. So we define it as deduction is a higher order. I repeat, this one is a higher order thinking skill that requires one to infer repeated computation from a given generalization. The information derived from the generalization will lead to a specific answer. Deduction, deduce. Okay, so as an example, we have this. So take a look at this example. Medyo mahaba. So each one, Anne, Enya, Alvin, and Johnny have different favorite color among red, blue, green, and orange. The first condition given is that no person's name contains the same number of letters as his or her favorite color. Alvin and the boy who likes blue live in different parts of town. Red is the favorite color of one of the girls. The question is that, what is each person's favorite color? Okay, read it for the second time. and then analyze. Okay, ready? Let's have now a solution for this one. So, solution for this is that use logic and reasoning to deduce the answer. So, draw a table to eliminate possibilities using the information given. So, let's have the table. So, we have now this table. So, who are the characters? We have Anne, Enya, Alvin, and Jenny. Okay, what are the colors given? So, we have red, blue, green, and orange, right? So what is now the first question or the first information given? That no person's name contain the same number of letters as his or her favorite color. Meaning that what? So based on this given, no person's name contains the same number of letters as his or her favorite color. For Anne, there are 3 letters. Then therefore, red is not the favorite color of Anne. Okay, similarly, for Enya, 4 letters. Tama ba? So, for the 4 letters, we have blue. So, blue is not the favorite color of Enya. Then for Alvin, 1, 2, 3, 5. Then therefore what? Then therefore, for 5, green. So, green is not the favorite color of Alvin. Okay, the next one is that Johnny. There are 6 letters in here. So, natitira na lang is just orange. So, 6 letters. So, orange is not the favorite color of Johnny. Okay, for the second condition given, Alvin and the boy who likes blue live in different parts of the town. Alvin and the boy who likes blue live in different parts of the town. So, in this case, analyzing it, meron lang tayong dalawang boys. Alvin and Johnny, right? So automatic na si Johnny, ang favorite color niya ay blue based on this given. So kung ang favorite color ni Johnny ay blue, then therefore what? And therefore, blue is not the favorite color of Alvin. And at the same time, blue is not the favorite color of Anne. So since ang favorite color ni Johnny is blue, okay, yung green is not the favorite color of Johnny, and green is not also the favorite color of, red is not also the favorite color of Johnny. By the way, when I say X1, na delete yon sa given condition number 1. Then for X2, na-delete yung mga yan because of condition number 2. Then let's have the third condition given. So red is the favorite color of one of the girls. Again, there are only 2 girls in the given problem. We have Anne and Enya. Okay, since yung red is not the favorite color of Anne, automatic na yung red is the favorite color of what? Of Enya. And that since red is the favorite color of Enya, then therefore, red is not the favorite color of Alvin. And so therefore, since red is the favorite color of Enya, yung green, hindi niya na paborito, yung orange, hindi niya na rin paborito. Okay, yan lang yung mga conditions na binigay. So meron na tayong eliminate. Now, based on this table, we can now conclude that what? Take a look at this one. So, under green. So, green is not the favorite color of Enya, not the favorite color of Alvin, and not favorite color of what? Of Johnny. Then therefore, green is the, since green is the favorite color of Anne, then therefore, orange is not her favorite color. Okay, since orange is not the favorite color of orange is the favorite color of Alvin. Okay, in this case, therefore, red, we can now answer the given question that red is the favorite color of Enya, blue is the favorite color of Johnny, green is the favorite color of Anne, and orange is the favorite color of Alvin. Okay, so we have this one as level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So we put in here total number of squares, number of shaded squares, and number of unshaded squares. So for level 1, okay, level 1, so we have this, total number of squares, wala tayong shaded, walang shaded, meron tayong isang unshaded. So similarly, for level 2, there are 3 squares, 1 shaded, 2 unshaded. For level 3, there are 5 squares, 2 shaded, and 3 unshaded. For level 4, so we have this one, there are 7 squares, 3 shaded, and 4 shaded. Then from this table, you try now to analyze it and answer the given question. The given question is that find the number of what? The number of shaded squares in level 100 first. So observe, number of shaded squares. Okay, observe the pattern. This one is 1, 0. Level 2, 2. Number of shaded squares, 1. Level 3, there are 2. Level 4, there are 3. Okay, so what have you observed? That what? That the number of shaded square is always what? Is always 1 fewer than the level number. Then therefore, with this conclusion, we can answer now that there will be 99 shaded squares at level 100 kasi fewer, lagi daw 1 fewer than the level number. Okay. And for letter B, for level X, that there will be X minus 1 shaded squares at what? At level X. Okay, another example is that this one is for primary. Now, for intermediate, possible question is that we can have this one. So diagonal is a line segment connecting 2 non-consecutive vertices. The question is that find the total number of diagonals in a decagon. So we have this decagon here. Yan. So ilan daw lahat yung diagonals ng decagon? Actually, for a triangle, how many diagonals do we have in a triangle? Meron ba? So by definition of diagonal is alignment connected to non-consecutive vertices. And therefore, wala tayong diagonal, di ba? For a triangle. Okay, how about for a quadrilateral? Okay, how many diagonals do we have? Yun, tuloy-tuloy lang. Parang gagawin mo ng pattern, you just observe. Okay? So try natin. So gather information tulad ng ginawa ko kanina. Pattern. Okay, that is what? Okay, let's have this table. Okay, for the polygons, try lang muna natin yung first 3 polygons that we have. So we have triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon for 5 sides. Then let's have now up to the n-gon. Okay, for the number of vertices, for a triangle, as we all know, there are 3 vertices. Tama ba? Then for the number of diagonal per vertex, diagonal per vertex. So in this case now, for a triangle, wala tayong magagawa kasi side yung magagawa natin. Di ba? Pag pinag-connect natin yung dalawang vertices. So wala tayong diagonal per vertex. So total number of diagonals, and therefore 0. Next is that we have this quadrilateral. So how many vertices do we have for a quadrilateral? There are 4. Okay? So per vertex, so ilan yung diagonal na pwede natin magawa? So imagine a square. Kunin mo isang vertex, then i-connect mo siya to a non-adjacent vertex. So meron lang isang magagawa, di ba? Okay, so we have one only. Then count now the total number of diagonal. Imagine ba or sinusubukang bang i-sketch? Okay, there are two. Now let's have pentagon. Okay, for a pentagon, there are 5 vertices. Right. So number of diagonals per vertex. Okay, number of diagonal per vertex. Ilan? You draw a pentagon, then kunin nyo isang vertex, then draw a diagonal. Ilan yung magagawa natin? Okay, you try their vertex. So how many diagonals per vertex? There are? Okay, good. There are 2. So total number of diagonals. Since there are what? So when we say now total number of diagonals, ilan ang magagawa natin? Count. There are? Okay, there are only 5 diagonals for this pentagon. Now, based on this given triangle, quadrilateral, and pentagon, observe, look at the pattern that we have in here. Okay, for n-gon therefore, for the number of vertices, since n-gon, therefore there are n number of vertices. Okay, for the number of diagonals per vertex, you observe. Take a look at this. For a triangle, there are 3 vertices. Number of diagonals per vertex, 0. This one is 4. This one is 1. This one is 5. And that this one is 2. Then therefore, if this one is n, then this one is blank. Okay, notice that? Fewer than 3. Yung number of diagonals per vertex compared to number of vertices. Tama ba? So if therefore now this one is n, then this one can be written as what? Can be written as we have n minus 3. Okay, good. Next, how about in terms of the total number of diagonals? You observe, based on these 2 given, so for the number of vertices, we have 3. Number of diagonals per vertex, this one is 0. But for the total number of diagonals, this one is 0. You observe the pattern. So 3, 0, 0. This one is 4, 1, 2. This one is 5, 2, 5. And therefore, this one is what now? We have n minus 3, and this one is blank. Okay, observe that what? Observe that this one is, when we multiply these 2, and then divide by what? And then divide by 2. Okay, the result is equal to what? Times 0 is equal to 0. Divided by 2 is we have the 0. Now, look at 1. So we have 4 times 1. So we have 4. Then divide it by 2. So the result is what? The result is 2. Then next, how about this one? So we have 5 times 2 is equal to 10. Then divide it by 2 is equal to 5. So yun yung pattern na naobserbahan natin. So based on that pattern, pwede natin gawin dito. Then therefore, we can have what? We can have n, okay? And then, okay, good. So in this case now, given this formula, we can now solve the given problem. That is what? Since the decagon has 10 sides, tama ba? Where n is equal to 10, therefore the total number of diagonals is, so we have 10 times n minus 3, which is 7. So 10 times 7 is 70. Divided by 2 is equal, for a decagon, this one has 35 diagonals. Okay, so all in all now, these are the different thinking skills that are embedded and essential to elementary mathematics problem solving. Actually, pinili ko lang yung first 7. Marami yan, pero ito yung karaniwang nagagamit. The 7 thinking skills. Okay, to end up my presentation, siguro let me tell you this, or always remember this one, that what? The teacher plays an important role in giving and answering varied mathematical tasks to his or her students. Okay? And that math teachers should model the way they think when giving and solving mathematical questions. And that therefore, we can say that what? So in mathematics, we spend lots of time learning about what? Learning about calculations. Pa-compute tayo ng pa-compute sa mga bata. Pero please, let us not forget about the application. Okay, and what do you think is this application? Or simply including perhaps the most important application of all. And that is what? And that is, yun yung tinatawag nating learning how to think. Okay, so that's all and good morning. So let's have now yung mga questions na secure dito sa chat box. Kunin natin mga questions. So question and answer tayo. Okay, let's have this question. Sir, you made mention of the process-oriented mathematical tasks given to the students. So what are these? Tinatanong niya, kasi nabanggit ko nga naman kanina yung term na process-oriented mathematical task. Actually, in mathematics, there are three process-oriented mathematical tasks. And that these are, the first one is exercise. The second one is problem. And the third one is we have investigation. So sabi niya rito ay, can you differentiate one from the other? Okay, can you differentiate one from the other? Okay, to simplify yung answer sa question mo, pag sinabi nating exercise, actually, exercise means it is a mathematical task where the students know what is asked and directly alam niya kung ano yung sagot para sa task na yon. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating problem, it is a mathematical, it is asked, but do not know the direct way of doing it or solving it. Kaya nga nagiging problem siya. And that when we say investigation, investigation is a mathematical task to differentiate it from the other two, wherein the students do not know what is asked. Do not know for the reason that open-ended yung task na binigay. And that therefore, since do not know what is asked, hindi niya rin alam yung direct way of doing it. Kaya nga magkakandak ng investigation. So isa yun sa mga tanong na nakalagay dito. Okay, ano pa rito? Ang mga ay puro thank you nakalagay. Okay, one question here is that how important is critical thinking to be developed at an early age of our students? How important is it? So is that very important? Okay, very important for the reason that to do really well academically, we need to develop critical thinking, and that maaari ang aim nga natin is mapaabot natin hanggang higher order thinking skills. Focusing on what? Focusing on analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Not only lots, but also HOTS. Thank you, sir. Okay, another question here is that, is there a difference between thinking skills you may mention with the different strategies of problem solving? So nagkaroon po ng confusion, ano? So is there a difference daw po ba dun sa critical thinking na yung sa 7 kanina na binanggit ko, with that of the different problem-solving skills, malaki po ang pagkakaiba. These thinking skills are different from the problem-solving strategies that we have. Pag sinabi natin problem-solving strategies, these are the heuristics na ginagamit natin to solve a problem. Halimbawa kanina, per thinking skill, gumawa ko ng problem, right? And that to solve this problem, para ma-develop yung thinking skill na yon, gumamit tayo ng using a model. For example, nakita niyo yung mga bar kanina? Yun yung model, di ba? So yun yung strategy na tinatawag. So para bang to practice this particular thinking skill, gumamit ako ng model, and that yung model na yun yung tinatawag nating strategy. So marami tayong strategies like making a model, draw a table, guess and check, yung mga yon. Yun yung mga tinatawag nating strategies. So these different thinking skills are different from the different strategies in problem solving. So what is the easiest way to develop critical thinking to problem solving? For me, ang pinakamadali is that at an early age, sabi nga natin, subukan na natin silang bigyan ng mga tanong wherein it will elicit at first lower order thinking skill hanggang sa ma-develop ito, then bigyan mo na ng mga tanong na will elicit higher order thinking skill. Actually, para sa akin, nasa teacher yon. Kung paano, parang yung sa binigay kong problem kanina, nung pinakount ko yung number of circles. So, pwedeng ibigay yung task na yon, just counting the number of circles ng ang mai-elicit mo lang na thinking skill ay lower order thinking skill. Pero pwede mo namang ibigay yung task na yon wherein ang mai-elicit mong skills ay higher order thinking skills. Yung pinakita ko kanina, ni-revise natin yung question. So we have that. Ang tanong dito. Parang wala naman na po atang tanong maliban dito sa mga thank you na nakalagay. Ay, ito may isa. Sir, can we have a copy of your presentation? Yes po. Actually, naka-record po itong presentation natin, and that pwede kayong magkaroon ng copy. Parang nakita ko yung sa first webinar, YouTube. Ni-record, then in-upload sa YouTube. Okay. May tanong pa po ba? Ito isa. Sir, per thinking skill, isang example lang daw ang binigay. Which is interesting. Kaya lang po ay bitin. Can you provide more examples per thinking skill? Actually po, marami akong kopya ng per thinking skill ng mga problems. Kaya nga lang, since limited lang yung time, ginawa ko na lang na tig-iisa, pero meron dun 2 thinking skills na ginawa kong tagdadalawa. Sige po, pwede ko pong i-send ito through your email dun sa mga interested. Okay, and wala na po ako makita, kundi puro thank you very much na lang po. Please, more examples will be much helpful. Yes po, sige po. Magpo-provide po ako per thinking skill. Magpo-provide po ako ng mga sample problems na para for intermediate and for primary. Para at least meron tayong pwedeng pagsimulan or pwedeng maging guide natin. Yan. Okay. So, kung wala na pong tanong, Ma'am Cynthia.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Edwin, for a very nice presentation. Thank you also, teachers, for hanging on. With that, we end this second of the series of webinars. Thank you very much, dear.